Welcome back to F1 2016 Career Mode Season 2, Part 14. It's the Italian Grand Prix. We're here. We've got 3 of our brand new upgrades. And of course, it's Monza. So Ferrari have also they've bought a big package to their car this weekend. And they've now solidified themselves again as the 3rd fastest team, as you'll see momentarily. We did well here last year in the Renault. And we're hoping to repeat some of that good fortune this weekend. I like Monza. It's a fast track. The race is over pretty damn quick, so we're going to see what we can do. We're now, of course, catching up to the midfield pack with our development, and we'll see how things go as we step into qualifying. Words of encouragement from Jeff there. Words of encouragement going out, of course, on the super soft tyre, because as Jeff has said, we are still the 3rd slowest car on the grid, so it's still going to be a struggle. Here we are, maximum attack into turn 1 on our very first run, and you can see there just how hard we're trying hitting the sausage curb in the slow-mo. Just look at this, getting in a bit too early, maximum commitment, and you see it here in the super slow-mo, just hitting that with the front wheel, and look at the effect it's had on the car. Absolutely ridiculous. I thought that was, I mean, I can liken it in it is relatable to, you know, what would happen if you probably drove an F1 car over those curbs, but yeah, pretty extreme. So of course we went and set ourselves another lap. This is us coming to the end through Parabolica. The rear end got very light as I went out to the painted green on the outside there. As we come up towards the line, it's a 1:23.5 and it only put us in 15th position, which was not good enough. And I wanted to save sets of super soft tyre for the race. So we're down to 21st, but I figured I'd run on the soft tyre because I've got a super low drag setup this weekend, and that the straight line speed will save me. So we go into turn 1, taking a lot more care over those curves, but I got it very wrong through the first chicane. So we now power up through the gears, round Curva Grande, the delta dropping all the time as we come up towards the 2nd chicane. Now we're going to be looking to brake underneath the bridge because we are very fast in a straight line. We're capping out, I think we've hit 227's our highest speed through the 2nd chicane, and we're picking up speed now through Lesmo 1, braking just after the 50-metre board. 2nd bite at the cherry on the way, and we've understeered wide, hit the gravel, collided with the wall, and that's it. We're out of qualifying. So after that absolute disgrace of qualifying, we're starting right at the back of the field. A 3-stop race round here in Monza. The fast corners do wear your tyres out pretty quickly. So we're going to be starting on a set of the mediums, then going to the softs, and then a set of super soft. Now it does provisionally say a 3-stop strategy, but I'm fairly confident we can look to convert that to a 2-stop, especially if we get lucky during the race with any kind of safety cars, virtual safety cars, things like that. But we are mixing it up with the Saubers and the Manners at the back of the grid here, but a lot of these guys at the back are also on the medium, so there's a level footing. We're not at a tyre disadvantage with the guys at the back here, so we're going to see what we need to do. Turn 1 is a very interesting one here at Monza. You're going to have cars getting up to 180, 190 off the launch from the grid and braking at about 150 metres, and it's usually the most catastrophic turn 1 on the calendar, so we're going to need to be very careful, pick our spots, because it's going to be congested on lap 1. And here we go, we now build with 3, 4, 5 lights, and the Italian Grand Prix is underway. Pascal Wehrlein got a superb launch over on the right hand side. We're going to move to the right, see if we can get any positions down the inside. Less cars hopefully going to be down there on the racing line. We're going to brake just to avoid Wehrlein. Now we're going to be cautious going in here. Any kind of taps to damage our front wing want to be avoided. We're side by side with Rio Harriento. We're going to get a better run out of the corner. Hopefully the setup will help us as we pass Harriento up into 18th place as we move through. Curva Grande, we've got a train of about 6 cars there. Magnussen on the back. Look at the toe we get in as the massive hole punch through the air. We're cautious on the brakes. We're going to get Magnussen into the corner, and we're now up into 17th behind Danny Kvyat now. So we've made 5 positions up from our starting position, and look at all these guys on the back. They're all running the mediums, which is exactly what I needed to see, so we have an equal footing when it comes to tyres. As we now in the slipstream, Danny Kvyat, we're heading down towards Ascari, the fast left, right, left, and in the slipstream we're getting to over 220 miles an hour, easy on the brakes, slip it down the inside, nice as you like. And now we head down towards the Parabolica. Palmer and Grosjean duking it out there. They almost pushed me onto the grass. We're down the inside of Jolyon Palmer through Parabolica. We go out wide, and again we've dropped the back end slightly, but we've got through, and we're up into 14th place at the end of the first lap. Lap 2 now, as we look at our great straight line speed behind the McLaren Honda of Button. We're going to make a big diving move at the start of lap 2, just getting the car slowed down. Button tries to go around the outside of us. He's going to get better drive out of the first chicane, and he regains that position of 13th place, but now we can sit behind him as we head towards the second chicane. Look at the slipstream, the better speed of the Ferrari engine versus the Honda, and we're passed before the braking zone, and we're up now into 13th. We are scything our way through this field, and points now are going to be very much a possibility. End of lap 2, there's another train of cars as we get into the slipstream of Carlos Sainz. There's Bottas, Perez and Fernando Alonso, and we are just going to accelerate straight past a lot of them. Careful into Parabolica as they look to go 3 wide, get up on the grass a little bit. Bottas on our outside, Perez and Alonso make contact. We get the best run out of Parabolica. We cross the line in 9th position. We are up into the points after 2 laps of racing. 12 positions gained in the first 2 laps, and now we're mixing on with guys on the super soft tyre who are going to be coming in fairly soon. Bottas, or cars behind, trying to make a move into the second corner, but nothing doing just there. As now go on to lap 3. Bottas is probably the most dangerous in a straight line of all the other cars on the grid, minus maybe the Mercedes, but we're absolutely fine. As we come through Ascari now, it's still lap 3. Bottas just behind us, but we've got Vettel up ahead. I don't quite know who he's battling. It's the Force India of Hulkenberg. They're going side by side, and look at the closing speed we've got with the slipstream into Parabolica. Vettel locks up. Hulkenberg now on the outside. Bottas comes through on our inside. It's now 2 by 2 onto the main straight. As we, with the greatest speed, look at how fast the Haas is in a straight line. We have breezed past the other cars, and that's now us up into 7th as we now split the Williams. Bottas taking advantage of Vettel and Hulkenberg battling now, and he's up into 8th place. You thought Azerbaijan was going to be crazy with the slipstreams, but Monza still the temple of speed. Now lap 7, the overtaking calmed down, and guys on the super soft tyre started making their pit stops. Verstappen is the last man to come in off those super softs. So at the start of lap 8, we lead the Italian Grand Prix on those medium tyres. They're still good for another few laps as well. Sainz moves up into 2nd place, while Alonso goes to 3rd. Verstappen, you may have seen it briefly in the top left, switches over to the mediums for his 2nd stint as Hamilton sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. These guys, of course, the top runners, are very, very quick. Now at the end of lap 9, Rio Harriento's out of the Grand Prix, so we'll see what happened with him here. So, he's got a puncture on his left front coming down towards Ascari. He should probably get out of the way. Oh, contact made with him. One of the cars trying to get past him has made contact. Oh, he's come across the circuit. Oh, and was that his teammate Wehrlein had just ploughed straight into him there. Harriento's car in a dangerous place. I don't think there was anywhere Wehrlein could go. There's the contact from the Toro Rosso. And then if we flick back a couple of cars, here comes Wehrlein now. Well, I mean, he couldn't really go anywhere, but both Manners now out the Grand Prix. Hulkenberg's out the race, and that's going to bring out an immediate safety car because there's now bits of car all over the circuit. So let's see what happened with Hulkenberg. He's tried to come in. He was side by side with the Williams car. Oh, and he's made contact with the McLaren. There's a big accident on the pit straight. Hopefully everyone's all right. Let's see what happens. So he's side by side with Bottas. Hulkenberg's trying to come in. Bottas is there. Hulkenberg didn't come out the throttle, and I don't know if he made contact with the wall or what happened there. Let's get it from Alonso's perspective. Oh no, he spun across. Oh, he made contact with the other car and then contact with the McLaren. That's a huge accident on the pit straight. And now, here's something a little annoying. This is me out of context. This is me watching the race back as the human rather than the driver. And you can see that I'm apparently falling too far back from the safety car queue. The safety car, of course, is at the first chicane. I am the lead driver, so I don't see why I'm being affected by this rule before I hit the safety car, because you have to be within 10 car lengths of the safety car. And because I didn't get to that position, I have been given a drive-through penalty because I'm more than 10 lengths away from the safety car. Well, of course I was, because I was at the opposite end of the goddamn circuit. Regardless of that, we're going to take advantage of the safety car and we're going to come in and take off these medium tyres and we're going to swap to a set of the soft compound tyres. Of course, everyone is having to stick to a delta, so this is the best time for us to pit. We could have served our drive-through penalty, I would have done, but you can't take those under the safety car, unfortunately. 2.1 stops in the Haas boys, easily out in the lead. Again, that's probably more due to do with the delta rather than the speed of the pit stop. But this is exactly what I was saying. If we got lucky during the Grand Prix with safety cars, we could convert to a two-stop strategy, and I think that's exactly what we're going to do, because these soft tyres now will be able to last a hell of a lot longer. And we're now at the end of lap 13. The safety car's coming in, so we are now effectively the pace car. We've got both Red Bulls on a set of medium tyres right behind us, and we're just backing the pack up. Backing them up before Parabolica. Safety car is peeled into the pit lane. When do we drop the throttle? We've got to try and get the best restart, and we've punched it right at the apex of Parabolica. We've got a good run, but I think Ricciardo and Verstappen were open to our games, and they're going to go into the slipstream. As we look back, both Red Bulls in the slipstream of the Haas car. We're now going to have to move across as we go towards turn 1 ever so slightly. We leave room for Ricciardo on the outside, who does make a big diving move. We're going to go round here, get the better run on the outside, and we retain the lead of the Grand Prix. But, of course, bear in mind, we have to serve the drive-through, as Ricciardo is trying around the outside of Curva Grande, but the Red Bull just not got enough in a straight line, not enough grunt in that Renault engine to be able to get past us. We park it in the middle here, and we avoid him passing us. But those Red Bulls are now very fast, and we've got Jolyon Palmer up in 4th position in Renault, putting on a great performance now. But it's the end of lap 15. Both Red Bulls are now completely all over us, and we're now coming in for our drive-through penalty. I didn't want to, but there was literally nothing I could do about it, which is annoying, but you got to do what you got to do. So the stewards, for whatever reason, deemed it that I needed a penalty. So here we come in. We come to serve the drive-through. This is going to hurt us a lot more because it is at the end of a safety car period. I mean, I know it came in a few laps ago, but still the field's going to be more bunched together. So we now drive through the pit lane at the speed limit of 50 miles an hour, and we're going to come out in 13th place. 13th place. From the lead to 13th, because of a glitch, is the way that I'm seeing that. I'll accept it. Nothing I can do to change it, so it's whatever. So, out in 13th place on these soft tyres, so I need to get these tyres to go as long as they can. So I just pushed as hard as I could in clean air without having to worry about defending. There's now a VSC at the start of lap 19. We were up to 6th because of the pit stop. Sorry, 5th because of the pit stop, so we had got a VSC there. Loads of cars on mediums, who I imagine will probably be coming in for super soft tyres later on in the Grand Prix. We, of course, are going to fit super softs at the end. It's now the end of lap 19, and interestingly enough, we've got a Haas 4-5 here as Grosjean putting in the work this weekend. And this is going to be interesting down into turn 1. We're in the slipstream. We've got DRS. Let's see what we can hit as we go 220, 225. I think we're going to hit 231 miles an hour as we hit the brakes far too late to get it turned into turn 1. We have to bump across the sleeping policeman, and we're going to let Grosjean back through there because that's an illegal overtake if I ever saw one. But look at this from the face-on shot. Car just did not slow down. 231 from the 150 meter board. I was not going to get that slowed down, but yeah, that's probably the fastest speed I've ever hit on this game. You can see Grosjean was doing 20 mile an hour less than me in a straight line, so you can understand why I closed up on him so quickly. Alas, we now move on. This is just after the incident, and we're going to sit behind Grosjean, who's now up into 3rd position, and we sit in 4th. And well, I mean, we're going to lose time if we sit behind him too long. I imagine Grosjean is still to make a pit stop. I think he would have fit the mediums after his first pit stop, so we're going to have to follow him through the Lesmos here, and we're going to have to wait for the second DRS zone, which is out of Lesmo 2, before we go down towards Ascari. So we bring it in nice and tight lose as little time as possible on the exit, open up the DRS. Of course, we've got the low drag setup and the slipstream, and we're going to breeze past him as we go under the bridge. Beautifully executed. Alonso up in second place in the McLaren Honda. Who would have guessed? Especially because he creamed into Nico Rosberg earlier on in the race. It's the end of lap 21 and we're coming in to fit the super soft tyres. So is Alonso by the looks of things. So he is going to be losing his second position. But Grosjean up into the lead in the Haas. If only he could hold it. But I'm fairly confident, as I said, that he's got to make another pit stop as we come in. Alonso to fit the super softs. We will fit the super softs as well. And the Haas boys get it done in 2.2. So 2 pretty good stops from the Haas boys this weekend. Better than some of their other performances. They've improved over the course of the year. We come out in 13th place once again. But I still think there are cars ahead that need to make pit stops. So points are still an option. Not as many as we probably would have got without the drive-through penalty. But this final stint is all about pushing the car as hard as we can. So it's now lap 23. We come through Ascari. Alonso passing the ailing Nico Rosberg by the looks of things. He's got an issue. I don't know if he's just on super worn out medium tyres, but we're going to go into the slipstream of the German driver and we're going to charge towards Parabolica. We leave him the room. I didn't quite know where he was in the mirrors. Apparently we made contact going into the corner. But that's that position made up as we now head on towards the start of lap 24. Fernando Alonso just ahead of us in the McLaren Honda. We've got DRS. This should be a simple executed move into turn 1 because of the lack of speed the McLaren Honda has. We do 233 miles an hour this time around, but we brake a little bit earlier and actually managed to get it slowed down. I think that's probably the fastest speed clocked by any car in the speed trap this season. As we now go through Curva Grande, we're up behind Sergio Perez, and now this is out of Lesmo too. He's on a worn set of soft tyres, clearly going to the end of the race. It's a simple move, slipstream, DRS, underneath the old bridge, through Ascari. There we go. We're actually on for a purple lap at the moment here, so the fresh super soft tyres combined with the slipstream, the DRS and the low drag clearly going to equate to a very quick lap here as we now head towards Parabolica. End of lap 24. Perez, is he going to have a look? He does have Mercedes power, thinks better of it from a long way back there. Magnussen is quite a ways up the road. I don't think we're going to get that closed down in the remaining 3 laps of the Grand Prix. Yellow flag though, interestingly enough, not too sure what that's for. Sergio Perez out of the race. He's had an engine failure as I look behind us as we set the fastest lap of the race. So there you go. And Grosjean in the pits again. He was already behind us. That's a little it's a little disappointing. But we come through the final lap. Nothing changed. Daniel Ricciardo did win the Italian Grand Prix, so he's back onto winning form. And we're going to come across the line in 9th place, but what it could have been. There's the result of the Italian Grand Prix. Daniel Ricciardo wins it from Kimi Räikkönen and Lewis Hamilton in 3rd place. Max Verstappen 4th. The Mercedes and the Ferrari tried the 3 stops, but the 2 stop of the Red Bull proving superior. We come home in 9th from 21st on the grid, but what it could have been without that drive-through penalty. Not saying we would have won the race, but we'd have definitely been up there. Ricciardo now closes the lead of the Drivers' Championship down to 7 points. Ricciardo back on winning form after that slump after the first 5 rounds. We dropped to 7th. Both Ferraris now ahead of us and equal on points of 121. What we need to be concerned with now is Williams in the constructors, because they are only 17 points behind us. Both Williams scoring more points than myself that time out. I believe they did. If not, they're just behind me in the drivers, and of course Grosjean is not performing. But that's why we're trying to improve the car. You know, we bought 3 big upgrades here this weekend that helped us out in a straight line. We've got only enough resource points to improve the fuel efficiency, but I think it's going to be beneficial for us to do that, so we'll lock that in a moment's time. We go to Singapore next time out. The night race around the streets of Singapore. and the longest race on the calendar. It's going to be tough on the car, tough on the drivers, and we'll see how that one goes next time out. But guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the Italian Grand Prix. You know, a little bit disappointing for ourselves, but we showed a lot of pace, especially in a straight line. 233 miles an hour in the V6 era. Not many people can say that. Leave a like if you did enjoy, and subscribe to be notified about the content coming to the channel. I will see you all next time.